Seth Godin, the author of the book, first emphasizes the importance of being the best in the world at something. You only can thrive in a world like this if you are the best in the world in your chosen field. He says that being the best in the world is something that isn't really difficult to understand. Because to be successful, you need to do, in his opinion, quit the wrong stuff, stick with the right stuff, and have the guts to do one or the other. It's that simple. Extraordinary benefits accrue to the tiny majority of people who are able to push just a tiny little bit longer than most people, and who have the guts to quit early and refocus their efforts on something new. So, rule number 1 is become the best in the world in your chosen field. The real reason being number 1 matters so much is a little more subtle. Being at the top matters because there's room for only a few. Scarcity makes being at the top worth something. In the book, Seth gives an example that there are hundreds of brands of bottled water and they are almost all the same. So we don't shop around for bottled water because you can't be the best in the world at building an empire on water, because water is just water and there is a little to no difference in that. But champagne, that is a different story. Dom Perignon is at the near top, so we pay extra for it. We pay for scarcity. Where does scarcity come from then? It comes from the hurdles that the market and our society set up. It comes from the fact that most competitors quit long before they have created something that makes it to the top. That's the way it's supposed to be, and the system depends on it. So, rule number 2 is scarcity makes it all worth. Most people tell you that you need to persevere, to try harder, put in more hours, getting more training and work harder. Don't quit, they implore. But if all you needed to do to succeed was not quit, why do individuals less talented than you win? It involves understanding the architecture of quitting. And believe it or not, it means quitting a lot more than you do now. Quitting is not per se bad. You need to quit sometimes and you need to persevere sometimes. It's the balance between these two. This strategic quitting is the secret of successful people. Reactive quitting and serial quitting is the path of those that strive and fail to get what they want, and most people do just that. They quit when it's painful and stick when they can't be bothered to quit. I will repeat this because this is very important. Most people quit when it's painful and stick when they can't be bothered to quit. And this is just not the way to do it. This is just the beginning of the dip. So, rule number 3 is strategic quitting is the secret to success. Almost everything in life worth doing is controlled by the dip. The dip is the feeling when you don't like doing what you're doing. When it's hard, when you experience pain, when it's uncomfortable, it's the phase directly before the work. This phase determines whether you need to quit or you need to persevere. Imagine that you learn to play the guitar. In the beginning you would like it very much, because when you first start something, it's fun. And it really doesn't matter what it is, it's interesting and you get plenty of good feedback from people around you because you are doing something new. So you're playing the guitar for a couple hours per day, and then over the next few days or the week or so, you're still playing. Rapid learning experience keeps you going on whatever your new thing is. If you're playing or learning something else, it's easy to stay engaged to it. But then the dip happens. And the dip is the long slog between starting and mastery. A long slog that is actually a shortcut because it gets you where you want to go faster than any other path. And this is because it gives you a feeling that you need to break through or you need to leave that path. And the dip separates the people that really want it and the people that are merely just a visitor in that niche. It's the feeling that requires the decision if it will be your life's work or your hobby. If there was no dip, there would no be scarcity. So, rule number 4 is the dip separates the people that really want it of the people that merely do. And this is a beautiful concept, really beautiful, because it helps you to become great. In a competitive world, adversity is your ally. The harder it gets, the better chance you have of insulating yourself from the competition. If the adversity also causes you to quit though, it's all for nothing. The fact that it's difficult and unpredictable works to your advantage, because if it were any other way, there would be no profit in it. If it was easy, everybody would do it, and if it wasn't hard, you couldn't distinguish yourself and there would be no reason to hire you. So you need to be grateful. I studied law for 2.5 years. You could say I was almost finished. I just needed to do my internship and get my diploma. But I experienced so much pain, so much resistance, and we are going to talk about resistance in another book, The War of Art. But for now, this is the feeling in the dip. I absolutely do have discipline, and I really forced myself to do it. So I went on and I pushed through 2.5 years, and I had this feeling of the dip in the first year already. So then I came to the point that I needed to go to the internship, really work with lawyers, and I just didn't saw any future in it. I'm a businessman. I want to create, I want to sell. When I am enduring this pain of studying law, and by reading the dip, I realized I just didn't want to quit. Quitting was bad, I was told, but that's not right. Quitting is good if you quit the wrong stuff. Now, I study marketing and sales, and I'm reading a ton of books about wisdom, about marketing, about sales, and about business, about everything that makes you happy, successful, and rich. And I feel terrific. Couldn't feel better. And all that thanks to the dip. So, thank you, dip, I want to say. So, rule number 5 is the dip is your best friend. To summarize: 1. Become the best in the world in your chosen field. 2. Scarcity makes it all worth. 3. Strategic quitting is the secret to success. 4. The dip separates the people that really want it of the people that merely do. 5. The dip is your best friend. Thank you for watching, and as always, get